Hi, it's Emily or Emmy Rose 22A, and I am back with episode 5 of the Crafty Accountability Podcast. Today is actually Sunday, March 3rd, 2019. I know I missed recording last week. I missed you guys. I was sorry that happened. Last Sunday, February 24th, was my baby's first birthday. So we had a really busy weekend of planning her. It was just a family party, but even still, just getting everything, all the ducks in a row and everything for her birthday party was a little more than I had expected. And we kept thinking, oh, we can record. And I say we because my boyfriend helps out with Tabitha when I record. So we kept thinking that we'd be able to squeeze it in, and it just wasn't in the stars. So that's fine. I skipped a week. It's okay. I'm back now, and I'm thrilled to be here. You can find me online on Instagram. I'm EmmyRose22A, and on Ravelry, I'm EmmyRose22. I'm coming to you from Layton, Utah. It's very bright today. We had snow last night, so it's another bright day. I wouldn't necessarily call it sunny, although I guess it is sunny. There's blue skies out there. So hopefully we can go uninterrupted. My boyfriend had to go on a rescue mission. A friend broke down about an hour and a half away from here, so he's going to tow them back home. And Tabitha just went down for her nap, so I've got her on the monitor over here, and hopefully we can get through this. I guess I'll try to be quick-ish. I actually have quite a lot to share with you since it's been 2 weeks, so that's pretty exciting for me. I don't know. Of course, I feel like I haven't done anything in the past 2 weeks, but I have done, like I said, quite a lot. So lots of new things on the horizons to share with you. Just, I'm excited to get it all out there and my good juju in the world. So let's start with my yarny things. We are going to start with my finished objects because I have several, but the first one that I'm quite pleased with, he's a little wonky, but it's okay, is Tabitha's birthday bear. It's birthday bear. This is the Velvet Valentine Crochet Bear by Sarah Zimmerman of Repeat Crafter Me, and it is made out of Bernat velvet yarn, and the colorways Burgundy, Plum, and blush pink. And he's shorter than the pattern had said, so he came out a little smaller. Like I said, I think he's a little wonky, but I mean, he's a homemade stuffy, and she loves him. She's chewed on him and flung him around appropriately, so she's happy with her birthday bear, and I'm thrilled that I got it finished in time. He does have the safety eyes and nose, which I'm sure she's gonna find and want to bite on. She's only bit on his arms and stuff so far, but that's fine. He's got a cute little tail on his bum, and he does sit up. His little arms stick out a little. I don't know. There are things I kind of wish were different. I kind of overstuffed his head because I thought it was understuffed, and I didn't want it to be understuffed, so in not understuffing it, I overstuffed it, I feel. And I feel like his little neck's a little wonky. Like maybe I should have stuffed it a little more. So maybe the head a little less, neck a little more, because he's still a little bit of a floppy head. It's okay. It's for a 1-year-old, and she loves him. So, and I was really thrilled that I got it finished, and he's really cute. Oh, he's so soft. That yarn is so amazing, and it comes in huge balls. So of course I have tons left over, so I was kind of looking for patterns online, like what other people have used. I was looking on Ravelry, see what other people have made with it, and somebody made the cutest little bunny, and so I'm hoping for Easter she's gonna get a bunny that'll be the blush pink. So birthday bear and Easter bunny can be besties. And then I think the rest I might just make hats out of it. It is so soft. Like, who wouldn't love a hat made out of this? Either for donation or to give or something. I don't know. It seems like a easy, worthwhile. I know a friend of mine made some hats out of this yarn for another friend who knew 2 people who were going through chemo, And since it's so soft, it's really good for chemo hats. So I might do that. I'm not sure. We also have a guy Rob works with, my boyfriend. I made hats for a couple of his coworkers just out of acrylic yarn, but he was saying that he would like a hat for his daughter, but she's really fussy and really likes soft yarn and blah blah blah. So you don't get softer than this velvet. Trust me, everybody loves it. So that's Birthday Bear done totally on time, and couldn't have asked for more. My next finished object that I'm going to share with you is my Knit in the Round hat. And if you remember this, I had this started last time. I did it, oh yeah, during the Joanne open house. And this is, it was a class that Joanne taught, so there's really not like a pattern out there. But I did this one in this, it's Lion Brand Wool Ease Thick and Quick in Cilantro, Gray Marble, and then if you can see the little specks of color every other row, that's Coney Island. I think it turned out really, really cute. If you remember the first one, the pattern was written so that everything was on size 11s. My color work sucked in, so I went up to size 13s on the color work. It still did not even fit on my head, like, at all. So I did the ribbing in 11, you do a couple rows of your main color, and then the decreases I did in 13s, and then the color work I did in 15s. Well, it's a much more, like, I like the fabric that it made better. It's still really snug on my head. So the next one I do, I'm going to add 4 stitches. You need to keep it in increments of 4 for your ribbing. So, and then I'll have to figure out how that affects the decreases, because I think the decreases are a factor of 6. I may have to figure out how to space those 4 around. I'm not sure, but I think I'm going to go up 4 stitches on the next one. I think that will be my magic number, if you will. I was looking through my craft room and I found a few more other size 6, so super bulky, I think is what a 6 is. Sorry, I don't have any of my yarn labels right here. That are a 6 weight, so I might just make some more of these up. Again, not for a particular purpose, but this one and the black and cream one that I made, I'm just going to take to my mom's and see if anybody in my family wants them. Since they don't fit on my head, let them try them on, see if they fit them, and they can have them. And if not, I will donate them either to... this has the wool in it, so I don't know that it's necessarily the softest for like chemo hats, but it seems like the wool would be super ideal, and the folded brim for a homeless hat, so I might donate them to a homeless shelter or something. Like I said, this one whipped up pretty quick. I got all the way to before the decreases in the 4 hours that I was at the open house doing other things. So I mean, a 4 or 5 hour hat, I don't think that's too bad. And it gets rid of, well, not rid of, it uses some of the resources that I have. I used all of the cilantro. I still have a little bit of Coney Island left, and I have some of the gray marble left. So I'm gonna have to like weigh my balls and see. I may end up at the end with just like one that's, you know, totally just different colors, or gradates through the colors as it goes through, or something like that. I'll have to figure that out when I get to that point. I do have 2 more, the next 2 blocks to do. Let's see, it would be May and June's blocks for the knit along, the block of the month, I guess is what it is, knit along, that the classes at Joann's are for. And I have the yarns for that. I don't have them right here with me, but so once I get those 2 made, I'll have some more leftovers. And Rob's friend at work that I made one of the other hats for, that I was saying I gave the 2 hats to his coworkers, when I had told him to ask her what colors she liked, she had said orange and oatmeal, and the Woolies Thick and Quick comes in, they have a really pretty orange and oatmeal color, so I would really like to make her one that's orange that goes up to the oatmeal. I think that would be really cute, and I mean, if those are her 2 favorite colors, then that would be awesome. So I just want to wait for the yarn to go on sale so I can get it at a good deal. My last finished objects, yes, I actually do not have here with me. They are my Magic Yarn Project hats. I had to have them shipped by March 1st, which mine were. I shipped them that afternoon, so it was a little more nick of time than I kind of wanted, but I had shown you before that I had finished the 3 Mickey Mouse hats, or kits, I guess. They are assembling the beanies at an event on March 16th at Brigham Young University, which is a college that's about an hour and a half away from where I live here in Layton. So they just needed crocheters to make the pieces, and then they will have volunteers put the actual hats together. So they're kind of beanie kits, I guess, if you will. So I had the 3 Mickey Mouse done before. So in the past 2 weeks, I finished 1 more Mickey Mouse, the 2 Minnie Mouse, and 2 PJ Masks Catboy kits. And I will insert pictures of those here. So those were a lot of fun to make, and I actually have quite a bit of leftover yarn. So I'm thinking they have requested for jasmine wigs, they need just plain black beanies, and a lot of people don't like to, or either can't or don't prefer to crochet with black because it's harder to see your stitches. So I have leftover black from the Mickey and Minnie's, so I think I'm going to make some of those. I have a lot of the royal blue left over, so I could either do more of the PJ Masks kits. To be honest, those were the most difficult ones. There's just a lot of pieces with them, so they weren't, I guess, my favorites to put together. But like Superman uses the same blue, and I can just maybe, I was thinking I might make some of the just plain blue beanies, and then as they came out with, oh, we've had requests for this, I could make the accessories that go with them and either put them together myself or send them to them to put together. And then they did request some accessories for Belle wigs, and they need roses, and that uses the harvest red that I have left over from Mickey, so I might make some roses up to send in too. And those are just kind of if I need something quick and easy to make. I have some other things up on the horizon, like immediately, that I'm going to share with you in just a sec, so they're just kind of background things. Otherwise I'll just kind of put the yarn aside, and if they have another event, I will make up some more kits for sure. I definitely want to crochet for them again. I just have, apparently 2019 is my year of charity knitting, or charity making. I was not aware that that was going to happen. I did not plan that. It just kind of seems to be where my path is taking me right now, so I'm going to follow it. But I'll just put those scraps together in a place, and then when I need them again, or I need something to work on, I'll pull them out and work on those. I do have plenty of other things to be working on though. So that's it for my finished objects, which for me that's a lot. That's definitely plenty. Onto my works in progress. I did put a couple rows on my Free Your Fade shawl. I'd finished my beanies, and I didn't have anything else really immediately to work on when after we'd put Tabitha to bed, so I just pulled that out. I'm on a garter section, so it's just knit. You do a little bit of finagling at the ends, but other than that, it's just knitting. So but it's really not enough to show you guys. It's not impressive. Like 2 or 3 garter ridges is not very impressive, so I did not bring it to show you, but I did put a little bit in on that. And then the other thing I've been started working on, I'm almost done working on, well, the hat part's done, it's the cotton candy slouch hat by Hannah Siegmund of the Cozy Cottage Crochet. That is she has a podcast that's the Cozy Cottage Crochet podcast. And she does patterns. She makes patterns. There's a pattern designer, and I think that's maybe where you can find her. I will link to this pattern down below. I was a tester for her for this pattern, and I finished the first 2 before I started recording this podcast, so you guys didn't see them, but both of them got given to coworkers of Rob's. The first one was just too big for me, so it went to a coworker of his that could use it, and the other one actually matched this one. I'd made it for me, and his one coworker asked for a hat that I was telling you liked the orange and oatmeal. And I have a little bit of a funny story about this yarn. I bought this yarn from Joann's. It was in a bag of mill ends. They had them for regularly priced, I think $6.99 maybe, but they went on sale for like $4.99, or I had coupons and got them for half price, something like that. I only paid like maybe $3 for each, and it's 400 grams of the mill ends, so there's like 4 skeins in there. And when I bought this yarn, I'd made fingerless gloves for everybody in my family with the Deborah Norval Serenity Chunky yarn. So I was looking for a cheaper alternative, well, an alternative for that, and this appeared to be the exact same thickness. So I bought several bags of these. Like I said, there's 4 skeins in each, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bags of the 4 skeins. So when I made the hat for his friend, I was looking for other chunky yarns online to see if I could see, I was looking to see what it was maybe equivalent to. Well, oh no, it wasn't even that. I was at Michael's looking for something else, and so I walked through the yarn every time just to see, if there's a good deal or something. And I had just finished crocheting my hat that's out of this same colorway, and I saw it on the shelf. The Loops and Thread Charisma matches these mill ends that I got from Joann, and it's a Michael's store brand, so I'm not sure exactly what's going on there, but every bag I have, I can tie it to a Charisma color, so that's what I'm calling it, is Michael or Loops and Thread Charisma. So this one is the Northern Lights colorway. So I decided that after I'd finished crocheting my character hats, because I just got those shipped off on Thursday, and I was weaving in ends Thursday morning, so that I wanted to get my hat made, just my replacement hat, since I'd made her one. So the hat is done, but it does not have its pom-pom, and I love the pom-pom on here, so, and I really liked the pom-pom on the other one and the way it fit me and everything, so it's a really fun hat pattern. So this is my third one I've made. It's got this fun textured stitch, so it's not just a basic, and you start with the brim and you work your way up and do decreases, which is very different for me for working a crochet hat. So because I have so many other skeins of this yarn, I am going to make more of these hats out of it, to donate to our local cancer center for, they have bins with hats for the chemo patients to just take. And I find this hat very comfortable. This yarn, it's an acrylic, but it's a nice soft acrylic, maybe because it's plump. So my goal for just kind of me was to make 4 hats in March. So just kind of one a week. After doing those other hats for the Magic Yarn project, I kind of feel a little like burned out of the cranking out hats. So I don't want to pressure myself to crank out a ton of them. And there is no expectation on that one. It's just something that I want to do. I have the yarn. So, I made this one in the long slouch because I really liked it slouchy on me, but I think for the ones I donate, I will do them fitted, just so they're a regular beanie. It seems to me like that's more like what you would want if you're just trying to keep your head warm, or, wear something cute if your head's cold after chemo. So, you will see this next week with the pom-pom on top. I just finished the decreases last night, right before we went to bed. It was one of those, like, 2 more rows. I just have 2 more rows. So that's why it doesn't have a pom-pom yet. So you'll see this one completely finished next week, and hopefully another one. And I'm not going to put pom-poms on the ones I donate. Actually, the decreases work out pretty well, in my opinion, where, I don't know how well. almost looks like a little granny square there, but I think the center is like closed up enough. It doesn't leave a big gaping hole or anything, so I think they'll be fine with not having a pom-pom on top. And that just kind of seems like a little extra accessory that you don't necessarily need, if that's, I don't know. Maybe I'm being silly, I'm not sure. But I just think of what I would prefer, and I think in that case I wouldn't want the extra like bobbly or weight or anything. I think of an extra pom-pom on top, so I won't be putting pom-poms on those. But I'm excited that this like worked up so quickly. It was just little bit on Friday and a little bit last night, and it got done, so I will definitely be able to get through. Although well, 3 of those bags are set aside for a sweater I want to knit. 1.5 of the bags are set aside for Hannah's coming out with a shawl that uses the super chunky, and I want to use, I'm hoping I get to be a tester again for it, but even if not, I will buy the pattern and make it, because it's a really nice warm, well, it looks nice and warm shawl, so I'm pretty excited about that. So I've already designated some yarn from those bags for that, so that still leaves me with 3 bags of yarn, that's 4 skeins, so that's still 12 hats that I could make out of what I've got left over from after allocating some to projects. So that's perfectly fine for me. If I get 4 of the 12 taken care of this month, then that'll be good. And like I said, I don't know how all the charity knitting or charity making, I keep saying knitting and none of it's knit, none of it. Well, I guess if I donate that in the round hat, that would be knit, but the stuff I've finished or plan on finishing is not knit, so I'm not sure where that, but anyway, my charity making, I really feel like I have too much stuff and I need to do something with it. And I think I've mentioned my boyfriend's mom is going to the local cancer center for some treatment. Hers is a very, we're very fortunate. It's a very basic treatable. She doesn't have to have chemo or radiation or anything like that. So, but because they're taking such good care of her, I would like to give a little back and help those that aren't so fortunate. So, those are my current works in progress. I have 2 things that I really want to get on the needles as soon as possible. I brought the patterns, and I brought one of the yarns because I can only find one of the yarns, and I'm really irritated that I can't find the other one. I mentioned before that my craft room is a huge mess, and apparently, and Tabitha's sleeping and we share a wall. Her nursery and my craft room share a wall, so I really didn't want to be digging through too much. What if things drop? Too much crinkling, all that kind of stuff. So I didn't dig too hard. I was just looking this morning, but I really want to make her the Muti dress for her Easter dress this year. I crocheted her Easter dress last year, and the yarn I bought in Maryland when we went to Maryland in 2017 September for a friend's wedding. I love getting souvenir yarn, and we specifically picked that yarn out for something for the baby at the time. She didn't have a name until she was 2 days old, so we just called her baby girl. But I knew I wanted to make something for my baby girl with that yarn, and when we got home I looked for patterns and I decided on this one. So I bought it and I have it printed and I'm ready to cast it on. I just need to figure out where I've put my yarn, so hopefully either later today or tomorrow or something I can dig around in here and find that. And that is on my Make 9, so that'll be nice to get. And so I think Easter's April 21st, so I have little over a month and a half to get that done, so I hope I can. The other thing I really want to get cast on and get working on is the Changing Staircases shawl. It is sorry, I only have a black and white printer, so I can only print black and white. By Tristan Molina of Dragon Hoard Yarns. And the Changing Staircases is a Harry Potter reference, which is pretty awesome. This is a free pattern that she released. She has a lot of pay for patterns, and I think I've bought a couple of her other patterns too. I really enjoy watching her and her mom on their Girls in the Yarn Cafe podcast. And Tristan's just started a new one, that Crafty Dragon, that's just her. It's a podcast with just her. And I really want to watch it. I can't even keep up with my favorite podcast, but I'm going to watch because I enjoy them very much. They crack me up. And the yarn I want to make that out of is a Dragon Hoard yarn. So it's Tristan's pattern with Tristan's yarn, which I love. And this is her fairy sock base, which is a fingering weight, 70% superwash wool, 10% nylon, 5% stellina, which that only equals 95%. So something in there is a little off, but that's okay. I don't care. It's fine. And this colorway is Taro, and it's got the stellina, so it's got some sparkle. I don't know if you guys will even be able to see the sparkle, but I love the colors in this, and I think it might be really pretty to go with that purple fabric I showed you guys a few weeks ago. So I'm not positive though. I'm kind of iffy. So it really depends on how it knits up. So I want to, and this is on my Make 9 as well. And I bought this last year at the Great Basin Fiber Fair in May. And I want to go back again this year, and I have not used any of the yarn that I purchased there last year. So my goal to myself was to use at least one something from there before I go back and most likely buy more. So that'll be a lot of fun to have done too. So this one apparently will be getting, I'm going to wind this yarn if I get a chance before Tabitha wakes up. I'll wind it this afternoon so it can be all set and ready to cast on and go. But yeah, I'm really excited about both of those, and I just want to be knitting on them so badly. That's why I knit on my Free Your Fade shawl the other night. I just wanted to knit. I think I was a little like over the crochet, although making that hat, that cotton candy slouch hat, worked up so fast that I'm also really excited to get my other charity hats going. So who knows what I'll be doing. But that's all my yarny stuff. It's quite a bit of yarny stuff. 20 plus minutes of it. Sewing, I haven't really done much of anything. Getting those beanies, the Magic Yarn Project hats done has really taken a lot of my time. So, I'm going to my mom's today. I'm hoping to get the binding on Tabitha's blanket finished. And, I have been working on tacking the binding on that quilt. That baby's birthday, he turns 1 on, I want to say March 22nd. If that's not exactly, it's somewhere right around there. So it's about 3 weeks. And I finished one whole side and did the second corner. So I figure if I do about a side a week, I will have it done by his first birthday, and I can give it to him for a first birthday gift instead of welcome baby gift, which I'm okay with. And I'm really excited to show you guys the finished quilt, but I don't want to show it until I've gifted it, because I don't believe they watch, but if they do, I don't want to ruin the surprise. And I do have a little bit more up on the sewing horizon, but not immediately. So, I'll share that in my acquisitions, and then, let you know what that is. And for my paper crafting-y things, I got all of my thank you cards done and mailed. They were postmarked. I believe I got them in the mail Friday before her birthday. So, yay me. I still have one that's waiting for an address, but that's it. I got all the rest of them done. They're checked off my list. Such a relief. Whew. So I do have all of the things from her first birthday. I want to get pictures of the gifts that she received, and then I think I will send out thank you cards for that too, and that will probably happen this week. I'm going to get on top of that and get them out and out of the way so that's not on my radar. We did get some pictures printed. I was going to do a month at a time, but I decided that for the first group of pictures, since I didn't know how they were going to turn out or anything, that I would just do from the day she was born to the end of February. She was born on the 24th, so just those, like that last, it's not even a week. I didn't have her newborn pictures uploaded in my, we wanted to try Amazon Prime Photos. And one thing that I absolutely love about that is, because you can back up your photos to your Amazon Prime account. And because we just have the one account for both my boyfriend and I, both of our pictures upload to the account. So I don't have to go through my phone and upload stuff and his phone and upload stuff. I can see all of our pictures combined and together, which is really handy because, like, we have events and he takes 7 pictures, I take 3 pictures, and it's like, I don't know what he has, what I have, what's mixed, I don't even know. So this way I can see them all together in one place to pick. So, but even still, without her newborn pictures in there, I printed 56 pictures, which just seems crazy to me. But it's from when it's her first week, not even whole week. So, we took pictures of everybody who came to visit and, them holding her, and obviously lots of pictures at the hospital. So, I'm sure anybody can relate. When you have a new baby, you take lots of pictures. So I would like to, I have a bunch of Project Life stuff that that's how I want to do the album, like scrapbook it. So I need to pull my stuff out, look at what I have, and kind of decide where I want to go from there with the pictures. I need to kind of group them. So I'm really just going to need a few hours where I can kind of just spread myself out and look and see what I have and whatnot. And I really feel like once I get kind of a feel for how the scrapbook works, and like even the products that I have, because I bought most of the stuff before she was even born, and I haven't touched it since, so it's been sitting for over a year. I keep looking, it's right here at my feet. Although I have a shelf over here on this shelving unit. One of these shelves, I was looking for something the other day, and it's kind of like, I have a whole box of recycled things, like ribbon spools and things like that I had crafty purposes for. I'm not positive what my crafty purposes were. I know that I don't have a lot of crafting time now, so I am going to recycle those things and clear that shelf off, and that's where her album stuff is going to go. So I'm going to get it off my floor and over there. So it'll have an actual home, which will be nice. And I know it's not a like bag or tote, but it's a nice decent sized stack of stuff that will be off the floor and getting a home. So I'm pretty excited for that. But so that's about all I have on the radar for my paper crafting-y things. I just feel overwhelmed with all the crafting I want to do, and I haven't figured out how to make time to do it all. So, but I don't have, at least right now, I mean, I would like to get that dress made for her for Easter, so that is an obligation. That shawl I probably would like to get done by the end of April-ish, so I mean, that's kind of the same time frame-ish as her dress. So those two I do kind of need to just be making good progress on, but they're not immediate things. And then that quilt I would like to have done by March 22nd-ish. I just don't feel as much pressure as I did with the Magic Yarn Project hats, because I was really close to the deadline and it was a strict deadline. So maybe I'll be feeling it more near the end of the month, but right now I kind of feel like I have some time and I'm a little more free and I can choose to work on what I want to work on. So, although I need to find that skinny yarn. So that's kind of what I've been working on the past 2 weeks. I have bought a few things. We took a little trip to Joann's. We had to go to another one. My baby has a receiving blanket. We bought some swaddle fabric at Joann. When she was little, we swaddled her until she was probably like 10 or 11 months. Swaddled her every night to go to bed. So we have quite a few swaddle blankets, and my niece had given us some that were just a single layer of flannel, and they were serged around the edge, and they were store-bought ones, and they worked great. So, I mean, my theory is my mom has a serger. I know how and where to buy fabric, and I needed them more specific sizes. So it actually worked out best to just get our own. We round the edges like with a plate or something. I mean, not even super scientific, and then just serge around them. I don't even think, because my mom usually serges them for me. She doesn't even trim off the selvages because the serger takes those off. So super easy. You just have to square up your fabric and round the corners and serge. So super quick and easy, but super duper useful. I give them for baby gifts all the time now because we loved ours. So I decided everybody else needs them. But she has two in this fabric that are kind of her favorites. That's her snug. That's, she goes to bed holding it and whatnot. So we have two of them that we switch between. And I had kind of been thinking that I wanted to get some more of this fabric so that we could maybe make her some more or have it for backup in case we needed a replacement. And when I was at Joann's for the open house, I went and looked for it, and they were out of it in their nursery fabric. And so I looked it up online, and it's discontinued. And another store in the area was the only one close to me that had it in stock. So we went the next day and to get what they had. And I'm pretty sure this is a yard and a half, which is I think what we had for the other one. No, yeah. Oh, the other one might have been closer to 3 yards. Anyway, I need to measure what size her blankets are, and I can get at least one more out of this. So we'll just have another one for the rotation. I was going to wait and see if I wanted to make maybe a bigger one. I can't decide if I want to do that or if I just want to keep it feeling the same, like keep it the same as the other ones. Because the other ones we have, whatever they are, I think I got the end of the bolt and we cut it in half, squared it, and that's what size they are. So I'm not positive what size they are. So I need to measure those and figure it out. But anyway, we went to get her snug fabric. Since this is the last that we have, and if that's going to be her super special, I need to have this blanket. She will have at least 3 of them. So if we lose one, or if one gets wholly and destroyed, we will have plenty of others. I don't want that. I had a friend who they stayed at a hotel it turned out it was in Rock Springs, Wyoming, and their daughter left her blanket there. It just so happens that my boyfriend's sister lives in Rock Springs, so we had my friend had called the hotel and they found the blanket. So my boyfriend's sister went to the hotel, got the blanket, and shipped it to us so we could give it to her so she could have her blanket back because it was her special blanket. So I mean, she was without it for a few days, but she knew it was coming, so it was bearable a few days. So anyway, while we were there getting this, I looked at a few other things, and actually a few other things found me. We have some friends that are having a baby boy, so I wanted to make a quilt for them. And we found these charm squares. I've already opened them and taken them apart because I had to look at them. So charm squares are 5-inch pre-cut squares. For those of you who don't know, these ones are flannel. They're just the fabric shapes. That's what Joann's has, and it's a 30 pack. 6 designs, 5 of each, and they're actually priced very similar to a charm square that you would get at a quilt store, but I had a 60% off coupon, so they were like $2 or $3. But this is what we got. These are the fabrics. I think they're very cute for a baby boy. I'm gonna mix a couple. I definitely want to put some minky in with it. I'm not positive how. I'm thinking I might do like a row of these and then a strip of minky and a row of these and a strip of minky. That's kind of what I have going on in my head. But I need to add 2 more. I need 2, because this is 6 and I believe I want 8 to get the width I want. And I have this remnant, which is I found this one, which to me works perfect, another chevron, and it's just a gray, so very simple, but I need to figure out that. So that makes 7, but I need an 8th. Or I could do 7 and I could do the minky border all the way around. That's my other thought, so I may do that. I can't decide between, I have a blue, but I don't know that it's the right blue to match this, or a gray, because gray would work too. So I actually need to talk to my boyfriend to get his thoughts on that, because it's actually, they're our friends. The dad is his one of his best friends. So, and then we also were just kind of wandering through jewelry, and they're like, I don't even know what all it included, but we ended up with some dinglies. I was telling my boyfriend that I don't have very many progress keepers. I have several stitch markers, just the closed rings, but I don't have a whole lot of progress keepers. And somebody, it's Hannah with the Corner of Craft. She makes these beaded stitch markers, and she uses the lever back earrings to put them on. And I was like, oh, that's so clever. So I bought a pack of the lever back earrings because I have a ton of beads, so I thought I could just make very basic. Hers are beautiful, like brick stitch little characters that I wish shipping wasn't such an issue. I would have some, but shipping from the UK is ridiculous, and I don't want to pay that much money. So so I've been using just those, but they don't have anything cute like on them, like dangling on them or anything. So we found some dinglies to put on them. So I got this set of pretty, they're almost like stones, and there's one missing, but they were buy one get two free, and I really liked enough of these stones that I figured it was worth it to have. Even though one's missing, it's fine. I still get 11 that I really like. So like I said, they're kind of like stone. And then we got these ones, which I guess you don't need to see them all, but they're like different metals, and they're roses, which my middle name's Rose, and Tabitha's middle name is Rose, after my grandma Rose. So we love roses. And so I can just, where these are already on jump rings, I can just open the jump ring, put it on one of those lever back earrings things, and have some progress keepers. So I'm pretty excited about that. And then the last set we got are these cute little, sorry, some of them are backwards, are these guys, and they are even already on lobster claws. So I'm gonna give them a shot just as they are. I haven't taken them off and put them in with my stuff yet, but super cute sea life, a turtle and a seahorse and a seashell and an anchor. So we'll give these a shot, and if I don't love the lobster claws, or I don't think they're big enough lobster claws, I can just take those off and put the lever back ones on them. So we figured that was totally worth it. So that was kind of fun, and I'm kind of excited to get that. I have a lot of beads that I've acquired. I had a friend that gave me a ton of them. I've bought them over the years intending to make jewelry, but I just really have not taken the time to learn to make jewelry or anything. So I think it'd be fun to make stitch markers and try to sell them. I'm kind of torn right now, since I have all these things that I could make progress keepers and stitch markers to match and do some sets that would be fairly quick and easy, but because they're quick and easy, I'd be able to sell them very affordably. So I'm still trying to decide if I want to start that. I think I've mentioned here before that I've kind of thought I would like to make project bags to sell, so I don't know. I need to pick something and focus on it and get enough that I can put them in a store and try to have people find them. Or I believe once I get established and whatnot, like figure out what I want to do and get going on it, I will send them to various podcasts for giveaways and stuff too, to kind of get my word of mouth out there. But I'd actually need to like get going on it for that to happen, so we'll see. The other two things I bought online, I showed you that purple fabric a few weeks ago, and I had to buy a pattern to go with it. I'm gonna make it into this dress. So fun. I wore this dress at a wedding 5 years ago. I think 5 years ago. No. 4 years ago. I think it was 2015, maybe. Anyway, it was super flattering on me, but I want a full length this time, so I'm gonna make that one. This pattern is out of print, so I had to order it on Etsy, so I paid a little bit more, but even still, it was only like $10 with the shipping included, and the flat price is $17.95, so I didn't feel too bad. It's not the $1.99 that I usually get from Joann's, but so now that I have this, I need to figure out, I'm a very different shape than I was. Oh, that's part of the problem. I made this in the biggest size that came in. The one version of the pattern went to a size 18, and I'm a little bigger than that now, so I needed the bigger size pattern. That's why I had to buy it again. So I want to do a muslin of the top part to make sure it fits right, because according to my measurements, they have me very, very large, and I don't know that I am that large. Plus, I need to play with it because even if I am that large, around, my bust is not that large. So I want to figure out exactly what I need to do to make adjustments. So I need to dig through my totes and find some bigger pieces of fabric so I can play with. I just need to do the bodice part. I don't need to do the skirt. So, and I feel like I don't need to do the lining either, because if the outside fits, the inside's going to fit. You just do the lining the same way. So I just need something that I have a decent amount of that I don't mind cutting up and potentially wasting. Although I will probably just cut the pieces back up and use them for like quilt blocks or something. So I got that. I'm actually going to set it right over here because that's where that fabric is. And then the other thing I got, which was a lot of fun. Let's see, I do have the card right here. I ordered the Beauty and the Beast Mystery Mini Skein set from Molly Klein Design of Sweet Tea Yarns. So there is her card. She is Molly Klein Design on Etsy. So mollykleindesign.etsy.com. And they came. So they're kind of growing on me. And I have never ordered yarn from her before, so I really wasn't, I should have been more aware of like what her tendency was. These are just a little more muted in general than I would have normally gone for or assumed, but they're pretty awesome, and I'm trying to decide what to turn them into. I'm thinking some kind of cowl or something so they can kind of fade into each other, or I don't know, maybe a shawl, but then I'd have to find like a main color, so I'm not sure. But this is Belle in the Enchanted Rose. So you can see the brown and gold, the gold fur dress, brown fur hair, and then there's some, let me put these guys down so I don't drop them all, some green and red for the rose. So very pretty. Next we have the Beast, which of course is the various shades of blue for his coat, and then the browns and yellows for his fur. I love this one. And then we have Cogsworth, the clock. Kind of browns and yellows, a little bit of peachy tones. And Lumiere, the candlestick, I guess. And then, and I think this one's very clever. It's Mrs. Potts, and she's white with the little, you know, like flowers and stuff. So she's just got a little bit of speckling going on for her flower prints, which I find very cute. And then the last one, which is kind of out of sorts with the others, it totally goes with the character, but this one's Gaston. And it just seems a lot darker because it's got that vibrant red and the dark gray. But I mean, that's totally Gaston colors. So, I'm not sure. But I think I found a cowl that kind of goes, you almost split your, it looks like you split your skeins in half. So you would go from, oh, my belly just growled. That's attractive. I don't know if you guys even heard that, but so you go from one color to the other and then like double this one up and then back out again. So I think I would do something like this-ish, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what order I would put them in, but I really think Beast would be at the middle because he's a strong color, and I feel like Gaston's the other strong color, but I don't want him to be center stage because he's a jerk face. So he could be on the ends and it would be framed nicely with the darker red and gray. And then I'd have to figure out, I mean, Belle would have to go next to the Beast because she does. So these guys, I would have to figure out how I wanted them, how I wanted them to play, because they're the servants, so they should all go together, which they would, but I had to figure out what order. Really seems like Lumiere and Cogsworth somehow need to go next to each other. I don't know if it would be that way, or Mrs. Potts over here, or like this one over here, because Gaston has some yellow in him, so it kind of seems like maybe Lumiere should go next to him. I don't know. Anyway, I could play with these all day. I've already tried to like figure it out 20 times, but but I'm not sure. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. So as soon as I figure out a pattern that I want to use, I'll let you know, and maybe I'll be getting started on that fairly soon. Beauty and the Beast is my favorite Disney movie of all time. So when I saw she had these, I was like, I really want those. And like I said, the colors aren't quite as like vibrant as I imagine them, which is just difference in dyeing. Like, that doesn't mean they're wrong, and they're not bad. I very much enjoy them, and I will love whatever I make out of them. But for her Mystery March Club is Little Mermaid, so I've ordered that set too. So I'm really excited for that one, to see what she does with the Little Mermaid. I don't know how they couldn't be just like vibrant, crazy colors. But maybe they won't be. Maybe I'll be a little surprised there too. Although, I mean, where she needed to. I mean, Gaston, like her red, yellow, gray. I mean, that's a nice bold. And even the Beast is very bold. So she just went softer on some of the other ones, which is not bad. Again, I really like them. It's just not. It's not how I would have dyed them, but that doesn't mean that they're wrong. And sometimes it's nice to have what other people do for a change. So this has turned into a super long episode. I guess that's what I get for missing a week. I just have to have 2 weeks worth of time. I am shocked that my baby has slept this long. So I probably shouldn't be pressing my luck too much on that front. So I think that's everything I have. We'll see kind of what I get to work on this week now that things are a little more relaxed and I'm a little more setting my own pace, I guess. And hopefully I will see you next Saturday. I don't think we have anything scheduled immediately, although we didn't have anything scheduled yesterday and I didn't make it to record. So oh, that's because I got cleaning the bathroom, deep cleaning the bathroom, and I just kept going and going and going. But anyway, until I see you again, I hope you guys have a great week, and hopefully we'll see you next week. Have a Rosie Ray day. Bye.